Hare Krishna. So we'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. We are discussing from the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on chapter 18 today. You can put on the group. So we are discussing from the 18th chapter. So far we have discussed how Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu appeared from the womb of Diti. The history of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu was described by Maitreya Muni. When all the devatas, they were disturbed seeing the darkness all around. They went to Brahmaji, and Brahmaji described the whole history of how the four of his sons, Sanak Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar, they once went to Vaikuntha and they cursed the doorkeepers of the Vaikuntha and they became these two demons. So Hiranyaksha was the younger one and Hiranyakashipu was the elder. So Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu both performed very severe tapasya and they received benedictions from Brahmaji, became very powerful and started conquering the universe. And Hiranyaksha, he was so powerful, he was searching for a proper combatant, to fight with. And he was not getting anyone. So ultimately he went to Varuna Dev. Because all the upper planetary systems, nobody was there. All the demigods, they ran away. All the lower, then he dove into the ocean and he went to Vibhavari, the capital of Varuna. And there he challenged Varuna Dev. And Varuna, he said, I am an old man, I don't want to fight. Soon your desires will be fulfilled. Supreme Lord is going to come and then he will kill you and you will become the prey for the dogs and jackals. So that's what we discussed in the 17th chapter. So the 18th chapter and the 19th chapter describes the battle between Hiranyaksha and Varahadev. So Maitreya, he continues the story that although Hiranyaksha, he was warned by Varuna that you will be killed by the Lord, but he neglected the advice. And then he heard from Narad Muni that Varahadev has appeared and he is there in the depth of the ocean. So he dove into the ocean again. So Prabhupada writes, that's how materialistic warmongers are. They are not even afraid of fighting with the greatest enemy. So therefore, they are less intelligent and they dare to fight with even Vishnu. So that's how Hiranyaksha, he was eager to fight and he didn't even care. So this is a description of Nila Varaha which is going on. There are two incarnations of Varahadev, Shweta Varaha and Nila Varaha. Shweta Varaha appeared in the first Manvantara. He just brought up the Bhumandala and then went back. In the sixth Manvantara, again, Varahadev is appearing here and he will lift the earth also and he will kill the demon Hiranyaksha. So as soon as this demon, he spotted Varahadev, he started, criticizing Varahadev in very, very harsh words. As Varahadev was lifting Mother Earth, so this Hiranyakshi saw this sight and he said, "Oh, amphibious beast, one gocharo mriga." So in all these sections, in this chapter, every word has two meanings. And as it has been always, whenever some demons criticize, Saraswati Devi puts some particular words which may be interpreted as a glorification also. So that's how the great devotees are. All the acharyas, they try to find the good thing even from the bad one. In the fourth canto, there is a description of various levels of a sadhu and sadhu. Who is a sadhu and who is a asadhu? This comes in the discussion between Sati and Daksha. So Sati tells Daksha, she tells that you have found faults with the most, wonderful personality, Lord Shiva. You are Ati Asadhutam and Lord Shiva is Ati Mahattam. So who is Ati Sadhutam? Who is Ati Mahattam?
Ati Mahattam is Lord Shiva.
Shiva, yes. Daksha. So Ati Asadhutam means he sees faults even if there are no faults. So Lord Shiva is completely faultless, but he is finding faults. You are Markatalochana, you always cover yourself with the ash and you wear the skull garland. That's Ati Asadhutama. And then the next is Asadhutama. Asadhutam means he takes small faults and he magnifies that. Choti si galti dikhegi, he will keep on magnifying it. That's the case with Durvasa and Ambrish. Durvasa Muni, he found little, it was not fault also, but he started magnifying it. That is Asadhutam. Then Asadhutar. Asadhutar means he sees only faults. He overlooks good qualities. Galtiyan dikhti hain usko. And then the next is Asadhu. Asadhu means he thinks whatever good qualities this person is showing, this will not last long. When some new people come and start practicing bhakti, they do lots of services. So person who is asadhu, what he will say? Zyada din tak nahi tikega iska. Ye abhi naya hai. Naya mulla jor se bang deta hai. So that is a asadhu person. He thinks that all these good qualities won't last long. And then above that is now Mahat. So there are various levels of sadhu also. So Mahat means he sees some faults and he tries to utilize that fault for something good. For example, we know the story of Haridas Prabhupada disciple. He was a thief earlier. So he got attracted to Prabhupada by seeing his watch. He had a golden watch. Chori karenge. So he started coming regularly. He got attracted to the philosophy and then he became devotee. And then he came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I have a problem. My job starts at night only. Everybody is sleeping. I am not able to sleep. What to do? So Prabhupada said, no problem. I have a service for you. And every night I am translating and all these dogs, they are barking. And as I am translating Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, aisa aata hai aaj mein, so you do this service of chasing away these dogs. So Prabhupada, he saw some fault, he utilized that fault to do some service. That is Mahat. Mahattara. Mahattara means he overlooks the faults and he sees only a good thing. It's just like somebody told Prabhupada, Swamiji, your disciples, when they recite shlokas, their pronunciation is not good. So what did Prabhupada say? Their renunciation is good. Their pronunciation may not be good. Yes, another occasion he's also said that. You teach, you become their teacher. He was a Sanskrit professor. So that's how, and somebody else came and said, Swamiji, I was sitting in the class and 100% of time all your disciples were sleeping. पूरा सो ही रहे. Prabhupada said 100%. Then this person said 95% of the time they were sleeping, Swamiji. Prabhupada said, just see, just by hearing 5%, they have left all their bad habits and they have become such great devotees. What if they hear 100%? So that is Mahattara. He overlooks the faults and he sees only a good thing. Then Mahattama, he takes good and magnifies it. And he doesn't see any fault only. Just like one time Prabhupada was giving a class and a hippie came and he had brought toilet paper. He put in that washroom and then he left. And what did Prabhupada say? This, huh?
He's done some service.
That's just see, every living entity has a desire to serve. Although he is not in a proper condition, still he wants to serve. That is Mahattama. He takes good, magnifies it. And Ati Mahattama means he sees good qualities even if there are no good qualities. Just like Sanatan Goswami, they are saying, Jagai madhai hoite koti koti gun, adhama patita papi ami dui jan. Jagai madhai mein bahut sare gun hai. We are only fallen. What good qualities? Brahman jati tar navadi pe ghar, नीचे सेवा नहीं करे ना ही नीचे रखुर पर. अरे ब्राह्मण है, नवदीप में घर है, नीचों का सेवा नहीं कर रहे हैं. They are not serving malechas. So that is Ati Mahattama, So that's how devotees, they have this quality of finding good where there is none. That is a quality of Ati Mahattam. We know the story of Crazy Peter, right? Crazy Peter ka story malum, No good qualities, but still Prabhupada said, allow him to stay. And later he became Kushakrit Das, the one who translated all the Goswami literatures from Sanskrit to English. So all these, various criticism of Varahadev, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he translates as a glorification. So he is saying in the second verse, he is one gocharo mriga, he is one gochar. So what is one gochara means? It means a living being living in the water or living in the jungle. One gochar. So he says, one gochara can also mean Narayan because he lives in the water. Nar, ayan. Ayan means to lie down, nar, on the water. So therefore he is saying he is one gochara, means he is Narayan. Another meaning of the word one gochara means if you have to find him, you have to go to one. You have to go to a secluded, isolated place, then only you can find God. Otherwise you cannot find. So to approach God, to approach Krishna, you should be free from distractions. Then only we can find Krishna. So that's what Chakravarti Thakur says. So Prabhupada writes, the demon addressed the Lord as Mrigaha, that for Supreme Lord is sought after by great sages. And then he's continued, the demon continued. He said, oh fool, Agya, he calls Agya. This earth is entrusted to the demons. How can you take this earth without hurting, without being hurt by us? We will fight with you. I'll fight with you. So then Sridhar Swami says, what is the meaning of Agya? Agya means there is no knowledge which is unknown to him. So therefore he is Agya. कुछ बचा ही नहीं जानने के लिए तो अभी क्या जानेंगे अभी, It's like when Indra, he attacked Govardhan, Vrindavan. And then he says, Vachalam, Balisham, Stabdam, Agyam, Panditamaninam, Krishnam, Martyam, Upashritya, Echakru, Devahelana. So he is also criticizing Vachalam, this child Krishna, he speaks too much. Balisham, he is childish. He is childlike. Stabdham, he is proud. Vachalam, Balisham, Stabdam, Agyam. There also he says Agya. Agya means there is nothing to be known for him. पंडित मानिना, अपने आप को बड़ा पंडित समझते हैं. चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर से अरे बड़े बड़े पंडित मानते हैं इनको, all the big devotees, they acknowledge him. So that's why he's saying he is Agya.
Knower of everything also one can say, or
That's Agya means there is nothing for him to be known because he knows everything. Agya, कुछ जानने के लिए बचा ही नहीं है. So that's the meaning of Agya. Gya means to know. Agya means there is nothing remaining to be known by him. That's the meaning of Agya. I don't know. So then other word is also used. He says swasti, na swasti asyasi. He says you will not obtain this earth without being killed by us. So Chakravarti Thakur says, what he's saying? You will obtain earth and all the wealth also. केवल अर्थ नहीं मिलेगा, you will get wealth also and all the opulence also. गर्म हो रहा है ना? It's okay for all of you? Okay, ठीक है. So then he says, it is your mercy. No, it's okay, I'm okay. And then he says, you are Suradham. You are lowest among the Devatas. He says, no, you are Suradham. You are best of the Devatas. Just some Sandhi Vichhed. So he says, then he continues, you rascal, you have been nourished by our enemies to kill us. You have killed some demons. Today, I shall kill you and enliven my kinsmen. So again, various words are used. Chakravarti Thakur says, by killing the demons, you will give them spiritual destination. And therefore, the killing, abhavaya, the word used is abhavaya. The people, the demons who are killed by you, they will get spiritual destination. You will kill their cycle of birth and death. Just like third canto also describes, Tathaiva chanye naraloka veera yada have Krishna mukhara vindam netre pibanto nayana viramam parthastra puta padama purasya. When Krishna was fighting, Krishna was driving the chariot and Arjuna was shooting the arrows. So all the warriors, they were seeing whom first? They were seeing Krishna first. And seeing the beautiful face of Krishna, they would get mesmerized. And they would just stop for a moment. And taking the advantage, Arjuna would shoot arrows. And he would kill them. Partha Astra Puta, they get purified by the Astra of the Partha. And they attain the spiritual destination. So that is how Prabhupada writes. By killing the demons, you are killing their cycle of birth and death. And you always remain victorious. And you are not visible. You remain invisible and you kill your enemies also. So Chakravarti Thakur writes, Chakravarti Thakur says that the Devatas, they show themselves after a little sadhana. But you do not reveal yourself even after plenty of sadhana. You always remain invisible. That's why bhakti is called as Sudurlabha. Why? Because of two reasons. First is Krishna doesn't give bhakti so easily because he becomes controlled by the devotees. That is Damodar Lila. Evam Sandarshita Yanga Harina Bhrityavashyata. And second reason he says is because devotees, they don't endeavor sufficiently. Shrindvata Shraddhaya Nityam Grinatascha Swacheshtitam. If we are not sufficiently endeavoring, Krishna will not appear in front. Therefore, this Kaviraj Goswami Chakravarti Thakur says that you do not reveal yourself even after plenty of sadhana. Because if somebody is chanting every day, Bahujanma kore yadi Shravana Kirtana tabutana paye Krishna pade premadhan. करोड़ों जन्मों तक भी श्रवण कीर्तन किया तभी भी कृष्ण प्रेम नहीं मिलेगा if it is not done attentively. कितना भी माला घुमा लें, if it is not done properly, then tabuto na paye Krishna pade prem dhan. What are we doing? We are acquiring punya. शौक लग रहा है फैक्ट बता रहा हूं. Because Krishna is not there, na? Inattentive rounds means Krishna is not there. So what are we acquiring? Still, it gives some benefit of punya. स्वर्ग में जाएंगे. Yeah, उसलिए क्या फायदा, इसलिए chant attentively, So that is the understanding. So therefore, Chakravarti Thakur continues that, O Lord, you show affection with the fools by giving them your bhakti. All these people, they are moodha. So he calls Varahadev as fool. Chakravarti Thakur says, he is not fool. He is giving bhakti to the fools. That is the mercy of the Lord. Prabhupada writes, not only are the demons anxious to kill the Lord with words and philosophy, sometimes they kill with words, philosophy, and sometimes they think we are powerful enough to kill him physically also. That was the conception of Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Kansa. They all wanted to kill the Lord. So that's how all this, he is speaking such harsh words. But Chakravarti Thakur is speaking in a complete different way. So demon, he continues that, today when you will fall dead, I'll struck you with my mace and you will fall dead. And then when you die, all the sages and the devatas, they will also die. Because you are the root. Yatha taror mool nishechanena tripyanti tatskand bhujopashaka pranopahara chatasendriyanam sarvar arhanam yatha achyutejya. Prabhupada 100 times he has spoken this. Watering the root, nourishes the entire tree. So therefore he says, I'll kill you today, and then all the sages, all the devotees and all the devatas, they will also die, just like tree without roots. So Prabhupada writes, so all these demons, they know the philosophy very nicely. Pakka philosophy jante hain. You hear Kamsa consoling his, all the other, when he consoled his daughters, when Jarasandh, how Jarasandh consoled his daughters when Kamsa was killed. Kamsa was the husband, right? So he speaks wonderful philosophy. We are not this body, we are soul, soul is eternal. Hiranyaksha, when he is killed, Hiranyakashipu also speaks the same thing. They know all the philosophy, but we don't quote them. Hiranyakashipu uvacha nahi bolte kabhi hum. We always say Krishna uvacha only, Bhagavan uvacha. Why? Because the difference between a demon and the devotee is, demons know the philosophy, but they don't apply it. Devotees, they know the philosophy and they apply it also. Just acquiring philosophy, doesn't make one devotee. We have to Shrinavanti gayanti grinanti abhikshnasa smaranti nandanti tavehitam jana ta eva pashyante chirena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. Kunti Maharani is saying, you have to do 6 things. Shrinavanti, gayanti, grinanti, abhikshnashah, regularly. Smaranti, nandanti. ये 6 चीज करेंगे. I'll just explain. Shrinavanti, hear. Gayanti, speak. Grinanti, apply. Application is most important. Grinanti. Grinanti. Otherwise, what is the use of hearing the whole philosophy? 2 घंटा पूरा बैठ के रेसिपी बुक पढ़ा और किचन में घुसे ही नहीं. What is the use? Grinanti, abhikshnashah, regularly you have to do. Smaranti, then you have to remember. Nandanti, this is also most important. Be happy in seeing others' advancement in Krishna consciousness. Nandanti, be happy. मेरे से बाद में आया, मेरे से आगे पहुंच गया. If you do these 2 things, these 6 things, then 3rd, 4th will follow. Taeva pashyanta chirena tavakam. Very soon they will see the beautiful face of the Lord. Taeva pashyanti achirena. Achiren means very quickly. Bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. They will see the lotus face of the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord. So therefore, these demons, they are speaking nice philosophy, but they don't apply it. Prabhupada writes, the demons are very much disturbed when devotees worship the Lord. They are envious of Krishna, they are envious of devotees. So therefore, our responsibility is we should read also, we should apply also, and we should preach also. Distribute this knowledge which is being given by Prabhupada. What Srila Prabhupada has given is really amazing. One of our devotees, he is translating some of the Acharya's commentaries for 5th canto, our Prem Gaurang Prabhu. He was telling once that he found few Sanskrit scholars and he said, I want to just translate 3 chapters. 2nd canto ka 1 chapter, 5th canto ka 2 chapter. All the Acharyas, English, Sanskrit to English. How much you will charge? So, yeah. So he said, no, Prabhuji, I'll tell you somebody else, they will do it for you. No, aap batao na, you are expert. He said, Prabhu, I will take, so he wanted to translate 2 chapters of the 2nd canto and 3 chapters of the 5th canto, 5 chapter. So he said, we charge around 1 lakh for 1 hour. So that comes to 1.5 crores for 5 chapters. So when we hear such figures, then we understand what Prabhupada has given us. Prabhupada ne 10 आचार्यों का commentary निकाल के, निचोड़ के, he has given the essence. And we think, क्या दिए Prabhupada समझ नहीं रहा है, So that is the greatness of Prabhupada. What Prabhupada has done, it is unimaginable. So that is the glory of Prabhupada. So you should not take these books very lightly. एक line में Prabhupada has not just translated. Prabhupada's books are like high mileage purports, high mileage books. Word to word translation एक आचार्य का होता है, translation दूसरे आचार्य का होता है, और purport तीसरे आचार्य में से लेते हैं. Because Prabhupada doesn't want to miss anything. Time नहीं है ना, और कितना अलग अलग आचार्यों का commentary देंगे. That's why many times you will find जो word to word translation में है, you will not find in the translation. Anybody has noticed this anytime? वो word to word में कुछ और दे रहे हैं और इसमें translation में है ही नहीं, क्योंकि वो दूसरे आचार्य से लिया है, ये दूसरे आचार्य से लिया है. So that is Prabhupada. You should read it, apply it.
In GV also they have this system where in Prabhupada's room where Srila Prabhupada is sitting, Radha Damodar.
Yeah, वो उनका पूरा book है जिसमें 10 आचार्य का पूरा commentary है ना. Prabhupada would carry that wherever he would go. So that is kept in that.
They are still translating, no?
They may be doing. I don't know the details अभी तक, अभी latest. कुछ ना कुछ तो चलता रहता है. Gaurampur is doing something and many scholars are working on some things. But what Prabhupada has given is unimaginable, So we should read it. Hearing is good. But when we actually read and speak, Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, hearing and explaining them is more important than just reading them. पढ़ेंगे, पढ़ने से ज़्यादा important is when you explain, hear and explain. So preaching means learning, 90% of the things when you speak. Today only Chandramauli Swami Maharaj was speaking to all of us. That, when you read, you get only 10%. When you, take notes, then you get something 20%. And then when you, start speaking, he told so many things, I'm not remembering. When you start speaking, then you remember 90%. Because when you have to speak, then you have to prepare, then you have to remember. That's why I'm also speaking. That's why I started teaching also Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. मतलब भगवत गीता तो पढ़ लिया, भक्ति शास्त्री हो गया, क्या है भगवत गीता में मालूम ही नहीं है. So anyways, so the Lord, now, when this demon was speaking so many harsh words, so wonderful expression is coming out from the heart of the Lord. Lord also was pained by the sharp words of this demon. So Lord, Atma Ram hai na? How can Lord show emotions? How can Lord be pained? That's how Lord is. Lord is a person, he also feels pain. Anybody, if he speaks anything harsh, we also feel pain. Lord is also a person. He also feels pain. So how we respond to the harsh words, that decides our level of maturity. We may feel hurt, we may feel pained, but how we react. That's how Vidura, when he was, insulted by Duryodhan, what did he do? He just left. He was also pained. Swayam dhanurdvar nidhaya mana bhratu pura marma sutaditopi saitthamatyulban karna banain gatavyatho yad urumana yanah ati ulban karna banair. Very hot, fiery arrows entered the ears of Vidura and pierced the heart. But he considered it as the mercy of the Lord. Urumanayanaha. Yoga Maya is acting on me and Mahamaya is acting on Duryodhan. So Lord felt pain.
Prabhuji, it's saying even in our day-to-day life, and if somebody speaks to us very harshly, we should not react quietly.
Depends on how much we can tolerate. Everybody has a different capacity to tolerate things. There are no hard and fast rules. There are no, as a stereotyped reactions and responses. Itna gali denge to aisa.
No. What
Yeah.
says, you go through that situation, you don't react.
Mm.
And then 5 years later, somebody says, why you didn't react? You're crazy. How can you do like this? How can you accept?
We'll discuss at the end, Mataji, because the chapter khatam nahi hoga phir. We'll take questions at the end. Please take note of that. So why Lord tolerated that pain, that is also described. He says because when Lord was taking Mother Earth out, so Earth was frightened. Bhumi Devi was frightened seeing this demon. So therefore Lord tolerated. And he emerged out of water just like elephant emerges out of water after being assailed by an alligator. Lots of analogies are given in these, conversations. So because Prabhupada writes, Lord feels pain for his devotees. Because Bhumi Devi was frightened, so therefore he tolerated the pain. So that's how Lord gives preference to the pain of devotees. He is frightened, she is frightened, okay, I'll tolerate the pain. Prabhupada writes, Lord was also pained by compassion, seeing the pain in Brahma and others when they heard the words of the demon. In Hiranyaksha ka shabd shun ke, all these devatas also were feeling very pained. ऐसा कैसे बोल सकते हैं भगवान? So Lord was pained by the compassion, seeing the pain of these people. So that's how Lord is a person. He feels pain. When the jivas suffer, it is not that he is like a sadistic person who enjoys seeing the pain of the people. Even it is described, even when Duryodhan was lying on the battlefield with his thighs broken, that time also Krishna felt pained. Sakarna dushashana saubalanam kumantrapakena hatashriayushah Suyodhanam sanucharam shayanam bhagnor urvyam na nananda pashyan. Na nananda, he was not happy to see this situation. Suyodhan bol rahe hain. Duryodhan nahi bol rahe hain. Suyodhanam, actually his name was Suyodhan only. Then because of bad activities, he became Duryodhan. Susashan tha pehle, fir Dusashan ho gaya because of the bad activities. So therefore, Prabhupada writes, Mayavadis, they can't understand these things. They think Lord is impersonal. They cannot understand the feelings of the Lord. But Lord is sentient. He is a person. Prabhupada writes, in order to give protection to his devotee, he is ready to tolerate his all the insulting words of the atheists also. And then this demon, he started attacking. He roared first of all. He started criticizing all the more. As Lord is coming out of the water, Hiranyaksha started chasing the Lord. He said, are you not ashamed of running away? I am challenging you and you are running away. There is nothing more abominable than this. So Prabhupada writes, Lord doesn't fear anyone. But why he is running away? Why he is not responding? Because he is thinking about earth. When Kalayavan was chasing the Lord and the Jarasandha was also attacking, why Krishna ran away?
To go to Rukmani.
Rukmini ka letter aane wala hai. I have to go and respond and save her, rescue her. So therefore, for Lord, protecting devotees is more important than his own image. दुनिया वाले कुछ भी सोचे, I will protect my devotees. I don't care for my reputation. So that's how, So Chakravarti Thakur writes that there is another meaning. He says that, can there be criticism of those who are merciful and modest? How can anybody criticize you? You are always merciful to your devotees, oh my Lord. So therefore he is thinking, how can I pursue you? I am so fallen. I am so insignificant. I have no shame that I am troubling you in this situation. So that's what Hiranyaksha, other meaning he is saying. Chakravarti Thakur says. So then the Lord placed Mother Earth on the surface of the Garbhoda ocean and he imparted his own potency, and by that Earth started floating. Bhumandal started floating. Then Prabhupada writes there on the purport that demons, they think that there is law of gravitation which is working. What is this law of gravitation? It is all coming from Krishna only. Gama vishya bhutani dharyamyaham ojasa. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I hold all the planets. And then now Lord starts speaking. After placing Mother Earth, now Lord replies to all the piercing words and he's very angry. So Prabhupada again writes, Lord could have chastised this demon immediately, but he was just tolerating all that because he wanted to just take care of Mother Earth first. And another reason was he wanted to please the Devatas. Don't worry, I will take care of all of you. I'll kill this demon very soon. You don't worry about that. So then Supreme Lord, he says, Satyam vayambho vanagochara mriga yushmad vidhan mrigaye grama simhan namrityupashay pratimuktasya vira vikathanam tava grihnantya bhadra. He says, Satyam, it is true, you have said that we are vanagochara mriga. It is true that I am a vanagochara. I am a creature of a jungle. And what are we doing here? We are searching dogs like you. I am the lion. I have come to kill the dogs. Gram Simhan. जो घर में शेर बनते हैं. Those who are, just, there is another meaning to this word, Gram Simhan. So he says, we are creatures of jungle. We have come to hunt dogs like you. Namrityupashay pratimuktasya vira. Heroes like us, we don't fear death. Because he criticized that you are running away. Are you fearful of death? He said, we are free from the cycle of birth and death. Nobody can kill us. Vikathanam tava granantya bhadra. Us means hum. Whenever, some great people, they say, hum bolte na. Hum aisa kar rahe hain. So that's how Lord is. So Chakravarti Thakur says, Lord says, we are seen only by devotees who have given up all material enjoyment, who are one gochar. जो वन में जाते हैं, तपस्या करते हैं, उनको ही दिखते हैं. निष्किंचनस्य, जो निष्किंचन है. Kunti Maharani says also similar word. Anybody remembers? Tvam akinchana gochara. You can be seen only by a person who is akinchan, who has, what does it mean akinchan? जो भिखारी लोग हैं उनको ही दिखते हैं भगवान. Those who don't have possessive mentality. Everything belongs to Krishna. I am just caretaker. So mercifully, we are searching for Gram Simhan. Who are the Gram Simhan? Those people who are attached to family life. So I am searching after those people who are attached to sense gratification of this world. That is my job. That is why Krishna appears in this world, to reclaim the fallen conditioned souls. It's because people, they think all of my property, देह अपत्य कलत्र आदिशु आत्म सैन्य, ये मेरी सेना है. These people will protect me, my wife, children, husband, property, wealth, relatives, bank balance, ये सब मेरे को बचाएंगे. अरे they themselves will not stay. How they will save you? अपत्य कलत्र तेषां प्रमत्तो निधनं पश्यन्नपि न पश्यति. So those people who are gram simhan, they think that I can take care of myself. They think themselves to be like lions. But when death comes, then they become like dogs. They can't do anything. So Hiranyakashipu may ask, but why do you give mercy to those people who are proud and sinful? So the Lord says, because we are generous. This is my nature to be compassionate. I want to give mercy. I don't see any faults. I don't see faults in others. Lord is Adoshadarshi. When Putana came to kill, Krishna thought, at least doodh to de rahi hai. She's like mother. That is how Krishna is. That is how Ram is. When Vibhishan came to surrender, Lord Ram said, what to speak of Vibhishan? If Ravan comes, I'll give abhay to him also. Sakriteva prapannoya tava asmi iti cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai. If somebody comes and tells once, oh Lord, I am yours, I give him all protection. So Hiranyaksha may ask, well, you are generous, you don't see faults. Who are you? What is your position? So Lord says, I am free from the birth and death. I am the giver of auspiciousness. Nothing inauspicious can happen when I am there. And then Lord continued. He says, Ete vayam nyasa harara saukasam gataryo gadayadra vitaste tishtamahe thapi kathanchidajau shet stheyam kvayamo balinotpadya vairam. He says, certainly we have stolen this earth from the inhabitants of Rasatal. Nyasa hara rasaukasam. And Gartariyo, we have lost all shame. Yes, you said we are shameless. Yes, I am shameless. But today, you know what will happen? Today, I shall stay here and I will fight with you and you will have nowhere to go. You will die. Another meaning of these words. He says, Nyasa hara. Nyasa hara means I am the receiver of the offerings. Nyas matlab, jo yagya mein dalte hain. I receive the offerings even from those who are rasau kasam, those who are demons. Unse bhi main offering accept kar leta hu. I don't see the externals. Krishna doesn't see the externals. However big we are, however qualified, rich, wealthy, scholar, tapasvi, अभी भीष्म पंचक में लोग बड़ा बड़ा तपस्या किए हैं. We have 2-3 devotees who did 5 days निर्जल fasting. ऐसा बहुत कुछ किए हैं. But if you are thinking, हमसे तो यार एक दिन भी नहीं होता है ना. मैं भी नहीं किया हूँ. मैं बोला मैं 5 बार खाऊंगा भीष्म पंचक में. So Krishna sees how much bhakti you did, Baba, how much chanting you did, how much Bhagavatam you read, how much lectures, how much service you did. Krishna is pleased by that. He doesn't see the externals. Nalam nujatvam devatvam rishitvam vasuratmaja prinanayam kundasya na vrittam na bahugyata na danam na tapo na ijya na shaucham na vrata. इन सब से प्रसन्न होते ही नहीं है भगवान. कुछ भी कर लो आप, फिर किससे प्रसन्न होते हैं? प्रियते अमलया भक्त्या. केवल भक्ति से प्रसन्न होते हैं. Nothing else pleases the Lord.
Austerity को क्यों इतना importance दिया है?
Prabhupada never gave those importance to austerity. Our austerity is to keep the mouth shut and to speak only Krishna Katha. That is the biggest austerity we can do. Prabhupada never introduced this Bhishma Panchak. तो कार्तिक को भी इतना ज्यादा कुछ बोले नहीं Prabhupada. See, when we austerity means we should not do so much of sense gratification that becomes an obstacle on the path of bhakti. So maintain the body, because Kali Yuga anyways body is not meant for tapasya. But if you can do, great, no problem. Austerity purifies the body. But if somebody is doing fasting and no strength, chanting भी ऐसे Hare Krishna, अभी क्या फायदा है ऐसा chanting ऐसा तपस्या करके? Chant, eat prasad and chant. So he says, I accept devotion even from the demons, Rasao Kasam, and I am not ashamed of doing this. Gata Riya. यार कहीं से भी आप ले लेते हैं. I am not ashamed. Whoever offers me with love and devotion, I accept. He may be a demon. I don't mind. I am Gata Riya. And therefore, I am very pleased by your words of praise. Gadaya. That's what he's saying. And then Hiranyaksha may say, well, what are you doing here? You are supposed to be in Vaikuntha. You enjoy there. Why have you come to suffer in this material world? Suffering of fighting? Lord says, I will remain here because I am deriving the bliss of fighting with you. And I am remembering my two doorkeepers. They were cursed by Kumaras. And now you are one of them. So where should I go? I have come to reciprocate with my devotees. That's how Krishna Chakravarti Thakur writes. And then he says, now Lord says, now okay, give up all your foolish talks. Now be prepared to fight. And then Chakravarti Thakur says amazing thing. He says, filled with prema, the Lord is telling to the Hiranyaksha, filled with prema, you have accepted the mood of a demon just to give me the happiness of fighting. So therefore, I have come to fulfill that promise. You wanted to give me the happiness of fighting, so I have come. So therefore, why should I go? I'll fight with you. And then he says, wipe away your tears of bliss. Lord says, you will wipe your tears of you will cry when I'll kill all your friends and relatives. So Chakravarti Thakur says, Lord is saying, you will wipe your tears of bliss because I have come to reciprocate with you. So that is the discussion which is happening. And then hearing all this, Hiranyaksha becomes very angry, like a cobra which is trampled. And because Lord insulted, the Grama Simhan, you are like a dog. So he starts really fighting now. So the demon, Hiranyaksha, he threw his mace on the Lord. And Lord just moved a little bit aside and he dodged the blow. And then another example is just like accomplished yogi, eludes death. Similarly, Lord just dodged the blow of Hiranyaksha. And then he says, Prabhupada writes, superficially it may be seen that a yogi is attacked by a death blow, but by the grace of the Lord, he can overcome. In 1977, when Prabhupada, he was just in last few months, he had stopped eating anything and he was prepared. Now I want to die. I have done all my services. I am happy. I want to go back. What is the use of, maintaining this body, which is, anyways deteriorating, falling apart? So all the disciples, they were pleading, no, Prabhupada, please stay. If you go, then how we will continue? Then after, persuading for a long time, then Prabhupada said, okay, I'll stay. That is in February. Then Prabhupada started eating. He became little better and stayed for 8 more months. So that's how, Prabhupada, he would tell. He was talking to Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And he was telling that, please stay, Prabhupada, we want you to live. And then he told Prabhupada, everything is in hands of Krishna. If Krishna wants, you will stay. Prabhupada said, well, Krishna wants me to do as I like. He has given me all freedom. Choice is mine. So that's how devotee transcends death. He can overcome death. So that's the example which is given. So the Lord became very angry. He threw the mace again. So now this Hiranyaksha again took up his club and he struck. And the demon again protected himself. The Lord again threw his club and then the fighting went on. And they both were hitting each other's body and the blood was coming out. And smelling the blood, both these demons, both these Hiranyaksha and Lord, they became all the more enraged, We will not understand any of this. क्या चल रहा है ये ना? खून निकल रहा है, इतना पेन हो रहा होगा, हम लोग तो ये सोचते, But when Kshatriyas, when they see blood, that is their ecstasy. खून देख के ecstasy आता है. All pastime going on. When Lord does a part, he does it very nicely. Yeah. So tad atyant vidambanam. He bewilders. बोले ये कौन है? ब्रह्मा जी को bewilder किया तो हम लोग क्या है? He is supposed to eat when the offerings are put in yajna और ये क्या है? दूसरे के मुंह से निकाल के खा रहे हैं. What type of Lord he is? When Lord does a part, nato natya dharo yatha तथा परमहंसानां मुनीनां अमलात्मनां भक्ति योग विधारणार्थम कथम पश्येन ही स्त्रियः. इसके पहले नटो नाट्य धरो था. माया जवनिका चन्नम अज्ञाधोक्षजम अव्ययम न लक्ष्यसे मूढ़ दिशा नटो नाट्य धरो यथा. Kunti Manan is praying. When you play a part, you do it so nicely that even the creator gets confused. Like, कौन है? So that's how all the blood is coming out and both were fighting just like two bulls fighting for a cow. That's the analogy which is given. So as all this fighting is going on, ब्रह्मा जी डर जाते हैं. ब्रह्मा जी came to see, बोले क्या चल रहा है ये? इतने देर से fighting चल रहा है. He goes and tells the Lord, oh Lord, please stop fighting. Stop playing with this demon. Now the Sandhya is coming. Evening is coming. In the evening time, these demons, they become more powerful. You may be strong enough, but don't trust this demon. He has become the source of trouble for everyone. There are three things he's saying. Agaskrit, Bhayakrit, Dushkrit. He says this demon is an offender. He commits violence without any purpose. He likes to, trouble others. And therefore he creates fear, Bhayakrit. And then when he sees that these people have become afraid, he kills them. He is Dushkrit. So therefore, please don't play with this demon. He is like a serpent. Please kill him. Prabhupada writes, Chakravarti Thakur writes, Brahmaji is saying, do not play with him like an ignorant person. You are the Supreme Lord, but please kill him. He is like a demon. He is like a snake. Just like Garuda plays with a snake, but don't play with this snake because he has become very angry. Radhanath Swami Maharaj was telling once, we should not play with Maya. One time, one devotee, one of the brahmacharis, one of the temples, he once caught a snake and he was just, playing with that snake, and by mistake, the snake bit him. And he was in ICU for many, many months. So therefore, we should never ever play with Maya Devi. I think I am now beyond my anarthas. Lush to I need. Kam, Krodh, Lobh to, since months I have not experienced. Let me test myself. Still I am beyond it. Never ever trust your senses. So they are saying, he's saying, this person is a Mayavi. He is a, he knows all the illusory things. If you leave him, he will come back with greater power. And he is very egoistic. He is uncontrollable. Only you can kill him. So therefore, please kill him before the evening arrives. And he says that now this Abhijit Nakshatra is there. Abhijit Nakshatra is a nakshatra in which anything you do, it will give victory. So he says, now Abhijit Nakshatra is about to get over. Please kill this demon immediately. So then, when Brahmaji speaks all these prayers, Lord laughs. Because Lord understands, I am just playing with my devotee. I am just satisfying my desire to fight. ये बीच में क्यों आ रहे? You know? So Lord laughed, and then he accepted the prayers, and then he started fighting with the demon again, and he hit Hiranyaksha. He threw his mace at the chin of Hiranyaksha. Now the 19th chapter is whole fight only. You know, intense fight is there in the 19th chapter. So Hiranyaksha also attacked the Lord with his mace, and then as Hiranyaksha attacked the Lord's mace fell from his hand. So all the devatas, they were fearful. Are baapre, you know. It is described that when Hiranyakashipu and Lord Narsimdev were fighting, all the devatas, they were hiding behind the clouds and looking. They were not coming directly in front. They were chup chup ke. Mara kya? Why? Because they were fearful. By chance बच गया तो, और इसने देख लिया कि हम लोग देख रहे थे, तो वो फिर तो हमारा कुछ खैर ही नहीं है, you know. So as the mace fell from the hands of Lord, all the devatas, they started, crying. Great uproar started. So the Lord became very angry. He invoked his Sudarshan Chakra, and seeing the Sudarshan, Hiranyaksha became all the more angry, and he sprang in the air and he shouted very loudly, now you are killed. Abhi Sudarshan dekh ke bhi bol raha hai, now you are killed. Hiranyaksha is telling to Varahadev. Again he attacked the Lord and he threw his mace. So Lord, he caught hold of that mace, just like Garuda catches hold of the serpent. Wonderful analogy. Shukdev Goswami is expert in reciting a story. He's a great storyteller. पूरा analogy उसमें all the क्या बोलते हैं उसको, movies में आता है ना, graph, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, anyways I forgot the word. Special effects, so everything is giving here. So then Lord, he caught hold of the mace and then he gave that same mace. He is giving back to Hiranyaksha. So Hiranyaksha said, "मैं नहीं लूंगा." He felt very humiliated. He didn't take that mace back. He took another, weapon and he hit the Lord again. He threw his trident now. He took his trident and threw at the Lord. Then Lord invoked Sudarshan and he cut off that trident. And then the fighting went on. And then again, Hiranyaksha, he disappeared. Again he appeared and he struck the Lord on his chest. Lord felt as if an elephant is struck by a flower. So that's how, Lord. And then Hiranyaksha, he started creating illusions. From the sky started rains, which was full of blood, pus, mucus, stool, urine, and ghosts and hobgoblins started appearing in the sky, Yaksha, Rakshasas. And then Lord invoked Sudarshan Chakra. What is Sudarshan? Samyak Darshan. When Sudarshan comes, all the ignorance is dispelled. Scriptures, they are also called as Sudarshan. We should try to dispel the ignorance by the knowledge of scriptures. That's what Krishna says. Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. The knowledge is like a lamp, dispels the darkness which is there in the heart. So as all these things are happening now, on the other side, Diti, from her breasts, blood start coming out. So she becomes really fearful. She understood. Now, there is some danger to my sons. So then Hiranyaksha, he caught hold of the Lord. He tried to squeeze the Lord under his grip. But Lord, he disappeared. He was out of his grip. And then how Lord killed Hiranyaksha, that is amazing. He just slapped the demon at the root of his ear. Mumbaiya mein gaya, कान के नीचे एक बजाया बस. And then his entire body began to wheel, his eyes started rolling, and then his arms and legs were broken just by being hit. कान के नीचे बजाया तो सब कुछ टूट गया, all his. That is how Lord is, Lord could have killed the demon instantly, but he was just enjoying the fight with the demon. उसके लिए आया ना वो. That was the original desire of Jai Vijay. We heard this last time. He wanted to give pleasure to the Lord in fighting. अभी वो उसके लिए आया तो उसके लिए मजा लेना चाहिए ना थोड़ा सा, just to give the experience. मजा आया भगवान, आपको मजा आया ना बस, So then after the demon was killed, so Brahma ji and others, this time they started praising whom? Can anyone guess? Brahma ji and all the other devtas, they praised Hiranyaksha. बोले कितना भाग्यवान है, भगवान का स्पर्श हुआ इसको. When there is a pastime Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in Kirtan, and all the devotees were also there. So Pratap Rudra Maharaj, he was also there, looking at this beautiful sight. So this servant of Pratap Rudra Maharaj, his name was Hari Chandan. So Srivas Thakur, he was also dancing, and he was coming in front again and again. So Hari Chandan, what he was doing, थोड़ा हाथ से उसको ऐसा साइड हो जाओ ना, he was doing like this. So Srivas Thakur एक बार, दो बार, तीन बार तक इतना, he felt so angry, फाड़ करके he slapped him. So Harichandan became very angry. So what Pratap Rudra Maharaj says?
You are very fortunate.
भाग्यवान तुम्ही, तुम्हार हस्त स्पर्श होइला, आमार भाग्य नहीं तुम्ही कृतार्थ होइला. बोले भाग्यवान है आप, आपको हस्त स्पर्श हुआ है. जहां पढ़ पड़ा है तो बोल रहे हैं हस्त स्पर्श हुआ है. अरे आई एम नॉट सो फॉर्चुनेट, हमारा भाग्य नहीं. So when somebody is touched by the Lord, that's how when Putana was killed, what Shukdev Goswami says? Padbhyam bhaktaridistabhyam vandabhyam loka vanditai angam yasya samakramya bhagavan api tatsanam yatu dhanyapi sa swargam avapajan nigatim krishna bhuktasthana kshira kimu gavo namatara. So Shukdev Goswami is saying, Are Padbhyam, these lotus feet, devotees are keeping in their heart. Bhaktaridistabhyam, Vandabhyam, these are worshipped by Lokavanditai, they are worshipped by all the universe. And these lotus feet are not just touching, they are grabbing Putana's body. Angam yasya samakramya bhagwan api tatsanam. Kitna bhagya Putana ka dekho. Putana was not feeling like that. Putana was saying, Muncha, muncha, alam, chhod do, leave me, child. So that's how, when Lord gives mercy, He doesn't give mercy many times in a palatable way. ये हमें याद रखना होगा. We may ask प्रार्थना, we may pray, Lord give mercy, please कृपा करो, कृपा करो. How Lord will give mercy? That is not in our hand. Then you cannot blame the Lord. इतना problem. मांगा किसने? You only asked, right? वो एक कार्टून आया था कुछ. We'll end in just 2 minutes, 5 minutes. The Lord is dragging a devotee. Our devotee is crying, please leave me, it is so painful. And then Krishna said, who started the process? Shuru kisne kiya? Prabhupada writes, one line, Krishna consciousness is so wonderful that one is forcibly dragged to success. अंदर घुसने का रास्ता है, निकलने का नहीं है. अपनी इच्छा से आए हो अंदर, अपनी इच्छा से बाहर नहीं सकते. So Krishna will make sure that we will become thoroughly purified, and in that process it will be lots of pain. Lots of pain will be there for sure. Putana was not enjoying the embrace of Krishna. She was experiencing excruciating pain. So all these devatas, Brahmaji, they are glorifying these two assistants of the Lord. They were cursed by the Lord. And now one of them is delivered. That's how they praise the Lord. And then after receiving all the prayers, Lord went back to his abode. Maitreya Muni says, that's how I have explained the pastime of Varahadev as I have heard from my Guru. Then Suda Goswami, camera shifts. Suda Goswami Shaunakadi Rishi को बोल रहे हैं अभी ना.
Guru means like he heard it from Lord Krishna himself. Right?
व्यासदेव
Yes.
व्यासदेव उनका गुरु है ना. Maitreya, sorry, not Maitreya. Maitreya and Vyas, they are friends. उनके गुरु कौन है? Maitreya Muni, maybe from Krishna, but he may have different other gurus also. See, that is just one pastime, but Krishna didn't tell all these, during Uddhava pastime. He must be having another guru. I'm not remembering. I'm not sure who. So then Suda Goswami speaks to Shaunakadi Rishi. Then Vidura, when he heard all this wonderful story from Maitreya Muni, he felt ecstatic. And then he glorifies Krishna Katha and Vaishnava Katha. Suda Goswami says, Anyesham punya shlokanam uddam yashasham satam upashrutya bhavain moda shrivatsankasya kim punah. People, they take transcendental pleasure when they hear about the devotees of the Lord. So what to speak of when somebody hears about the Lord directly? भगवान का devotees का सुन के इतना खुशी होता है, तो भगवान के बारे में Vidura heard, how much he will be happy? So therefore, Maitreya Muni says that Vidura says, Shrutasya pumsam shuchirashramasya nanvanjasa suribhiriditvartha tat tadgunanu shravanam mukunda padarvindam hridayeshu yesham. A person who is endeavoring to hear from the spiritual master, you know what he should hear? He should hear about the devotees from the spiritual master. Because पादार विंदम हृदयेषु येषाम, इनके हृदय में भगवान के चरण कमल हैं, उनके बारे में सुनना चाहिए. And then the famous verse comes, who will not be grateful? Only ungrateful person will not worship the Lord. Tam sukharadhyam rijubhir ananya sharanayir nibhir kritagya kono seveta duraradhyam asadubhi. The Lord can be easily pleased by devotees. Who will not worship the Lord? Only an ungrateful person will not worship the Lord. And then he ends this chapter by giving falashruti, itna sunne ka kya fayda hoga. O Brahmanas, anyone who hears, chants and takes pleasure in the wonderful narration of killing this Hiranyaksha demon by the Lord is at once relieved of the sins of sinful activities, even killing of a Brahmana. The most sacred narrative, this most sacred narrative confers what? क्या मिलता है? Extraordinary merit, wealth, fame, longevity, and all the objects of one's desire. जो इच्छा है, सब पूरी होती है. And on the battlefield, one gets all the strength. And one who listens it at the last moment of his life, he attains the supreme abode. That is the glory of this pastime. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Varadev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthashram Bhagavatam ki jai. Yeah, yes, correct. Yes. Parashar.
That is Vyasdev Muni's
Father. Yeah, because Vyasdev and Maitreya, they were classmates, friends. Okay, any other questions? Okay. You had some question? भूल गए.
Somebody is asked to tolerate that situation. Then a couple of years later, people say, why did you tolerate it? What was the reason? You don't have strength. Accepting suffering.
See, again, we should not decide how much should I tolerate depending on others, comments and others' ideas. It is our own decision. I want to tolerate this because, of so many reasons. I want to tolerate because it is good for my relationship with that person. If I'll not tolerate, my relation will get spoiled. Or I don't care about all these things. If somebody says, as one of the paragraphs Prabhupada writes, the dogs will keep barking, the caravan will pass. So why we have to always respond or react to any comment which is given? Why we are wasting our energy? Not every comment needs a reaction. So we have to understand how much we should tolerate, how much we should respond or react. That depends on the maturity of a person and the strength of a devotion which a person has. We cannot just do it artificially. Artificially nahi hota hai wo. Just like when Dhruva was criticized, he was not allowed to sit on the lap of his father. He comes back crying. What did Suniti says? Suniti says, first thing, don't bear any ill feelings for your stepmother. तो कौन बोलेगा ऐसा? That requires lots of maturity. And then next, she doesn't say, अरे जाने दो उसको अपने कर्मों का फल मिलेगा. You know what she says? This is the reaction of your own past karma. वो ध्रुव को बोल रही. So such response is not just a made up response. That is the result of lifetimes of devotion. That's such a mature response. Tolerate. She was tolerating so many things. So artificially तो नहीं कर सकते. We can just pray to Krishna, whatever capacity we have, act on that, and seeing our endeavor, Krishna will show mercy. Then our faith will increase, our tolerance will increase. Artificially we cannot behave at the level of pure devotees. So whatever level we are in, work at that level and keep praying to Krishna. Whatever faith we have, work on that level, and then Krishna will inspire and give mercy. Like that.
If it gets in the way of your devotional progress.
Sorry?
What if such kind of events get in the way of your devotional progress?
Anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam. That is a principle we should always remember. If it is becoming too much, then we have to do some things. We have to take some steps. If it is just, somebody is passing some comments like that, we don't have to just react to it, just tolerate it. But if it's really troubling and affecting our bhakti, then we have to take some steps for sure. Whatever is favorable, accept it. Unfavorable, reject it. That is important.
Only if I just chant, but doesn't start the philosophy. So there is no meaning of chanting.
It will not benefit much. बहुजन्म करे यदि श्रवण कीर्तन तबुत न पाए कृष्ण पदे प्रेम धन. या मैंने कब कहा आसान है. सुदुष्करम करम कृत्वा लोकपालैरपि प्रभो. नारद मुनि आके बोलते हैं उत्तानपाद को, what your son has done? Your son has done the most difficult thing in the entire creation. क्या किया है? भगवान को प्रसन्न करने का ट्राई कर रहे हैं. हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? वही कर रहे हैं, भगवान को प्रसन्न करने का प्रयास. ऐसा खाने का काम नहीं है. प्रसाद लिया, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Very difficult, most difficult. Lokapalairapi, even the controllers of the universe find it difficult. तो हमारा क्या? So we have to work on it at our level. We are like sparrow. हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं? We can just show to the Lord, मैं प्रयास कर रहा हूँ, मेहनत इससे ज्यादा नहीं कर सकता भाई. Then kripa will come. Endeavor and mercy, right? Damodar Leela वही है.
In such situations, so does that mean as devotees we are always trained to respond to every situation?
That
Rather
is-
than react.
Yeah, that is all Bhagavatam all about, right? The circumstances will not change or may not change, but the response to the situations will change. पहले हम लोग जो करते थे अभी वो नहीं कर रहे हैं. पहले भगवान को गाली देते थे, क्यों हो रहा है हमारे जीवन में ऐसा. अभी ऐसा नहीं बोलते हैं. अभी हम सहन करते हैं. ताम तितिक्षस्व, टॉलरेट, और वी आर ग्रेटफुल. और कुंती महारानी की जैसा तो हम लोग नहीं है उतने लेवल पे, और दो. So that's how our response has changed by practicing bhakti. It should change. अगर नहीं हुआ है तो बदलना चाहिए. It should change over a period of time.
Today I read some quote that acceptance
Makes one peaceful.
acceptance does not mean compromise.
Hmm.
It means to flow with what is.
Hmm.
That
Very good.
Purport लगेगा मुझे. Basically, when you accept the situations in life, then you understand that, okay, this is what is there for me, and I'll just take it as it is. Many times when we resist, that resistance creates anxiety, disturbance. When you don't accept the situations, मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हो गया यार? How can this happen to me? How? अरे मैं तो इतने सालों से भक्ति कर रहा हूँ. How come same अनर्थas are coming? वो ज्यादा अनर्थ आ रहे हैं अभी तो मन में. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? Accept it. ये सब था अंदर, वो निकल रहा है. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, when the poison is coming out, please don't allow yourself to be killed by the poison. Many times devotees, they go into that guilty consciousness. इतने सालों से भक्ति कर रहा हूँ, अभी तक ऐसे ऐसे विचार आ रहे हैं. I am so fallen. क्या कुछ होप है क्या मेरे लिए? Accept it. जो भी है ऐसा ही है. क्या करेंगे? Accept it. This is not me. This is my anartha. मेरे किए हुए जो है वो अनर्थ हैं. This is my mind. This is my anartha. Okay. I am on the right path. I am chanting. I am practicing. When Krishna wants, he'll purify me. I'll keep on chanting. I'll keep on serving. Okay. Yes.
Actually, how do you remember for every line, every situation, verse of Shukar?
मेरा कर्म खराब है.
हमारा कर्म भूल जाते हैं.
Every word
You know,
is like
to memorize a verse means, either you should like the meter, or you should like the meaning. उसके लिए भी एक श्लोक बोलूं क्या मैं? रूप निवृत्त तर्षय रूपगीयमाना भवौषधा श्रोत्र मनो अभिरामा. It should be pleasing to the ears and it should be pleasing to the mind. तो हम याद जब ही करते हैं जब हमारे सुनने में अच्छा लगता है या तो उसका मीनिंग अच्छा लगता है. तो बॉलीवुड के सॉन्ग क्यों याद हो जाते हैं? सुनने में अच्छे लगते हैं, मीनिंग तो कुछ रहता नहीं है, पहले वाले गाने में मीनिंग रहता था. So if we like meter of some verse, then it is easy to memorize, and if we like the meaning of the verse, then we'll get an impetus to remember it. And the more you speak it, the more it comes. Shunite, so like that. Okay, so any other questions?
My question is very stupid.
Okay, I'll just end this and then. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.